It started like any normal evening. Work had been stressful, the kids were running around like tornadoes, and I was exhausted. David, my husband, came home in a quiet mood, probably tired himself. I don't even remember what triggered it, a misheard comment, a frustrated tone, but before I knew it, we were arguing. At first, it was the usual bickering. Chores, schedules, small grievances that had been simmering under the surface. But then something inside me snapped. I was tired of feeling unheard, tired of carrying the weight of everything, and I lashed out. The words came before I could stop them, sharp and unfiltered. I can't believe I married someone who can't even. I trailed off, but I had already said enough. I watched his face change. His eyes went wide, hurt spreading across features I had loved for years. The room went quiet, even though the kids were still playing in the next room. David didn't yell, didn't argue back. He just turned, walked into the bedroom, and closed the door. The sound of it clicking shut felt like a verdict. I sank onto the couch, my chest tightening, realizing immediately that I had crossed a line I couldn't take back. The hours that followed were agonizing. I paced the living room, replaying the words, the tone, the exact way they landed. My mind was a storm of guilt and shame. By bedtime, I tentatively knocked on the bedroom door. "David, I'm so sorry," I whispered. There was silence for a moment. Then the door cracked open just slightly. He looked at me, exhausted, sad, but not angry anymore. I don't know if I can just forget what you said," he said quietly. And in that moment, I realized that forgiveness wasn't instant. Healing takes time. Over the next few weeks, I learned how to listen before reacting, how to recognize the anger that bubbled up before it spilled out. I wrote letters I never sent, expressing everything I had felt and feared. Slowly, David and I began to talk again, not just about the argument, but about everything that had been building under the surface. It wasn't instant. It wasn't perfect. But one evening, months later, he reached across the couch and took my hand. "I know it was hard," he said, "but I see you trying. And that matters." And in that moment, I realized that mistakes don't define us. They can break us if we let them, but they can also be the doorway to understanding, to growth, and, eventually, to a stronger love than before.